Guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to a new video. Of course, we're going to look at the charts because we have some interesting price action again. Before we do, please do me a favor, like and subscribe, because only a fraction of you guys that are watching the videos are subscribed. You will do me highly a favor. I really want to go to the 100 subs, so let's see if we can make that happen. Now, without further ado, let's start diving into the charts. I am going to look right away here at Btc, and we're starting off here with the hourly. I quickly want to recap what happened yesterday, exactly actually as we talked about, that we have a resistance that we tapped once, twice, three times, and then here the fourth time we went higher and we went into the golden pocket, as you can see, approximately at 23,630 to 23,670. That is measured here from the top to these bottom wicks right now. Also, when that happened, I updated you right away on Twitter, and that's always why I'm asking you to follow me on Twitter and just to check it once or twice a day, where you can see exactly. And I said, look at this, Bitcoin broke out, we got to the golden pocket, we rejected right away, just like we talked about in the video. So if you have watched the video and you look at Twitter once or twice a day, then you were completely prepared. Now, the beauty about this candle right here, I mean, yes, it was an hourly, we're going higher, we're going lower, but you could have taken a short trade right away, because if we're zooming in here on the 12 minute, then you can see right here we had a bearish divergence on the momentum wave in the price. Unfortunately, I didn't catch it because right at that moment I was out for an hour, but that actually would have been a very nice trade, and then you would have once kind of had to go through the pain again, because you see that's almost coming to the entry, and then we are just going lower to the lows here of the chart, and then you still had a pretty decent trade right now. Alright, let's quickly zoom out to the hourly, because like we said yesterday, we had now the first golden pocket, but the real big golden pocket actually would have been here, one level higher. And then we also talked about yesterday, that actually really would be my preferred scenario to go to, and then to retrace approximately at 24,000. Of course, so far that didn't happen. I want to make one extra comment, because I feel like yesterday I should have drawn out also something else, and that is that right away at that golden pocket and just below we have this thick box right here of all this trading volume, as you can see. And if I would extend that, then we could say, you know what, this whole box is kind of a big support and resistance box right here, approximately starting at 0.5 of the FIB tool all the way up to the golden pocket and a little bit higher. So you could draw that box from, let's say, 23,700 to, let's say, 24,100. A little bit of a bigger range, but you can see especially here that there are just so many candles in this box, and also here a little bit at the bottom before really breaking out. So if we once reach it, let's say we are just tapping at 61.8 and not really the 65, so not really into the golden pocket, but just at the bottom, I would still take that as a short, but it really depends on at that time how price is developing. Going to the short, are we seeing a bearish dip, for instance, on a 6 minute or 12 minute? That's really another confirmation I want to see, or some money flow coming down, or just some more bearish price action where you see momentum waves just becoming lower and lower and lower and lower, and also here then deeper. That for me is then the signal like, hey, the momentum is to the downside. Those are things that I'm looking out for. If we breach it, of course, we already talked about it, the top from yesterday, approximately 24,800-ish is then the top. But we also have to look, of course, at the downside, because we have to be honest here that actually since the end of the last month, we are a little bit in a downtrend, and we're just making lower lows and lower highs. So what is then the target we would be looking out for? Well, there are a few. First of all is this red line that we also talked about already, I think last week. That is a big wick. That's approximately at 22,595-ish. And as you can see, we have quite some support and resistance here, where the chart is constant. The price is constantly checking those levels and then kind of bouncing off. But the more, of course, that we are testing these supporter levels, the weaker they're getting. So we have a tap here, taps here, tap here, 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 and looks like now again. So the more we're testing it, the weaker it gets. And then eventually I think we will break down. I am not so sure if that red wick line that I drew out, if that will hold. I think we're gonna go lower. If so, then of course I'm looking out for the golden pocket on the downside. And just to be clear, that is measured all the way here from the bottom to the top here, and then we would retrace to the golden pocket that's approximately at 22,120 to 22,255 ish right here. A tap in a golden pocket would be nice. There's another problem that we have on the downside, and that is that if I use the Traders Reality indicator, is that we're seeing that here we have a thick green candle, a vector candle that has not been recovered, meaning that the price once went down, kind of retested the level and then went back up. So this is a pretty big untapped candle right here. So if in worst case we are losing the current support level, then we could go of course lower to the red wick, then we have the golden pocket, and then maybe even the bottom here of this wick to completely recover that. That actually would be quite the move to the downside. Let me check. From the current price level, we're talking about approximately 5% ish. Would we go all the way to the diagonal support and resistance line that I drew out some time ago? That one is not so clear, to be honest, because it's not touching everywhere, but then you were talking about 7 or 8%. If we are losing this low right here, for me, that is super bearish, because then we are really changing market structure. Yes, we're having higher highs and higher lows everywhere, as you can see. A low, a higher low, a higher low. Then the next one needs to be a higher low again. If that doesn't work out and we are closing below this one, so that's approximately 20,800, shall we say, that for me is super bearish. As you can see, then we're also probably closing underneath the point of control, and then I think it is lights out and we go much lower, and then we are really going to retest those lows here again at 18k. Not there yet, of course, will take a long time, but anything can happen. But then you know what I'm looking out for on the bear side. So again, first this red line, then the golden pocket, and then this bottom of the vector candle, and then the bottom right here. And if we lose that, then I think it's going to be pretty damn ugly. And on the bull side, I think we already talked about it. Then we have this golden pocket on the top, then the top right here, and then we still have that bigger golden pocket right here at just approximately 25,000 and a bit. DXY, real quick, this is also where we talked about yesterday. If we can tap into this box and then go out, that will be a very nice retest, and then we can go lower. I said yesterday I found this 4-hourly candle a tap, and now we're going again in and a little bit lower. So I just see this as one big tap into the box and now going lower. That would be very nice. That would also fuel BTC to go higher. But right now we see a little bit of a decoupling, meaning that the 4-hourly here on the DXY is going lower, but we're not really seeing BTC pumping at the same time, because we're also now going lower in the last few 4-hourly candles, as you can see right here. So not really doing the opposite. S&P then, this is actually very interesting, because we're seeing so many times that BTC is going hand in hand with the S&P and with the dollar index, and we're seeing that we're kind of now at this horizontal resistance, which also kind of coincides with the diagonal line that I draw out. It's a little bit of an ugly drawing, to be honest, but we're seeing that we have a lot of support and resistance at these levels right here, these levels right here, here, and now again. And that is for me the 4,165, shall we say, so 4,165. That is currently the price level. If we're bouncing off, then of course I am still looking at this weekly low and then the lows here. If we are breaking through, then happy days. Then I think we can go much lower, and with a little bit of luck we might be visiting these levels right here, or even the top, but not there yet. I mean, let's be honest, we quite had the run up already from the bottom. Kind of a relief rally, more than 14%. So that's what I'm looking out for. I think really, if this is going to break, green light for BTC, we're going higher. The dollar will be dumping then even further. Also that complies with the snare. Then I really hope that BTC is picking up. If that doesn't happen, for whatever reason we are dumping down a little, then maybe here the dollar index will go back into the box. That will be a support and resistance zone, and BTC will dump lower, and then of course you know what the levels are that I'm looking out for. Alright guys, that will be it for now. If you like these kinds of videos, please do me a favor, like, subscribe, click the bell, click on all so you don't miss anything. Leave me a comment, share this video with your friends who think this is useful. Also feel free to follow me on Twitter and Instagram. I just showed you why that is important. Also those links are in the descriptions. See you guys very soon again in the next one. Thank you so much. Bye bye.